Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the ultimate figure skating routine. Oh, I'm so excited this came out. I'm so happy. It's by Korngold. Yes, Erich Wolfgang Korngold. But before I tell you about that, let me give you the spiel here, the story. I talked about this a little in our discussion of the Barber complete orchestral music on Naxos, because one of the routines that I think should be skated to is Medea's Dance of Vengeance. I mean, this isn't quite as juicy as Medea, but it may be even better and more musically appropriate for an Olympic figure skating routine, because I did that for a while. I actually had like advertising up on Classics Today, and I was a consultant to several figure skaters who were going into the competition circuit, and they asked me to help them find music because I hated figure skating music in those days. It was horrible. It was badly edited, and it was all either like Swan Lake or Rachmaninoff's Paganini Rhapsody 18th Variation, or Bolero. I don't know. It was just the same old stuff over and over and over and over. And I thought we could do better. We could find things, and I could edit anything anyway. I mean, I had like I said, the 4-minute Emperor Concerto. I boiled things down like there's no tomorrow, but always trying to respect the musical phrase so that these routines made sense. And in those days, as I mentioned in the Barber video, you had to have certain alternations of quick music and slow music and whatnot. It was very, very restrictive in what you can use. Now you can use anything, but I still maintain that for the purposes of the average skating routine, classical music is probably your best bet, because it just has the most contrast built into it if you can find the right piece. Because my mother lode was to find a piece of music that I could play from beginning to end with no cuts whatsoever, that had all the necessary internal contrast. Medea's Dance of Vengeance is almost that, except that it kind of begins a little vaguely and a little bit too softly, I think. But there are actual pieces of music that last exactly. The timing has to be 4 minutes, give or take 10 seconds. Now, those of you who have been following our Miniature Masterpiece series know I'm pretty good finding pieces that time out appropriately. That's one of those things I've just always done, finding the right music within a time frame. And it also comes from my days running WJHU as classical music director in Baltimore. I mean, when you're on the radio, you always have to find things, and you always have to have little clips and stuff that fits in, So I always had a raft of things that I knew how they timed out or how they should time out. And the one piece of music, and it's on here, is the first movement of Korngold's Baby Serenade. Baby comes into the world. It's a fabulous overture, and it's exactly 4 minutes and 2 seconds, or 4 minutes and 4 seconds long, beginning to end. No need to edit, no cuts. It has all of the appropriate internal contrasts, and I'm going to play it for you now. Now, these performances, I might add, they originally showed up on the ASV label. These are the same ones, it seems to be, and they are absolutely excellent. They feature the Bruckner Orchestra of Linz under Caspar Richter, and we can only imagine how exciting it must have been for the Bruckner Orchestra of Linz to play something that was not Bruckner or Philip Glass, which seems to be the only other thing that they do. I mean, and that's kind of like playing Bruckner, only with even more repetition. So here is a composer who's actually full of variety and who uses all kinds of instruments that Bruckner never dreamed of using, and they're all in here. Let me just tell you what's in here, and then we'll have our musical example, because what I thought was that rather than playing just, little bits of things, I would play you the entire 4-minute opening of the Baby Serenade. And you can just imagine you're a skater doing pirouettes and triple lutzes and double sow cows and quadruple axles and double triples and double doubles and 18 wheelers and just everything that they do. It would be fabulous. So we have on disc number one, let's see here. Disc number one, it's on page one. We get Sursum Corda, the fabulous overture, 18 minutes of big, lush, romantic, ebullient orchestral music. And then the fairy tale pictures, the Märchenbilder, they're fabulously entertaining. And the Schauspiel overture. Remember, Korngold started composing when he was like 3, and he was a fully mature composer from the age of 3.5. Everything sounds like Korngold, so you don't have to worry about when he wrote it or any of that stuff. It all sounds like him. Then we have 3 movements from Der Schneemann, the Snowman, his ballet, and Straussiana and Tales of Strauss. And that's a really fun disc, full of luscious, late romantic orchestral schlag, as they say in Vienna. Flagellated cream. Oh, it's marvelous. All right, CD 2 is excerpts from the operas. And you get preludes and interludes and a couple arias. And they come from Die Tote Stadt, Das Wunder der Heliane, however you want to pronounce Heliane's name, Helen, Der Ring des Polykrates, and Die Catherine, and Violante, the prelude and carnival music, which is really fun. Oh, it's so decadent. And then something from The Tempest, Der Sturm, because everyone had to do The Tempest. And then you get the cello concerto that he wrote for the film Deception, a 12-minute long, one-movement cello concerto. Great fun. Again, these discs are wonderful. There's just a wonderful variety of stuff. But CD 3, incidental music, Much Ado About Nothing, 9 fabulous movements. Also very well known in the chamber version for, I think it's piano and violin, but I really, really like hearing the full-blown orchestral extravaganza because that's so Korngoldy. And then the Baby Serenade. Yes, the Baby Serenade is on this disc. And his theme and variations, his late theme and variations from 1953. And that is disc 3. And disc 4 is vocal music. The feature is the Einfache Lieder, the simple songs, and the Abschiedslieder, the songs of farewell. And you also get something called Prayer and another song called Tomorrow. This is not Mr. Rogers' Tomorrow. This is a very different Tomorrow. Remember, the Mr. Rogers was Tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll start that day tomorrow with a song for you. 1, 2. No. This is Korngold. Anyway, these are all very well performed, very well sung by the soloist. It's all just a joy to listen to. But the great treasure is the Baby Serenade for ice skaters galore. And if you're out there and you know someone who's a skater or you're a skater, please, please, please consider this piece. It's so perfect. It's so ideal for exactly what you want for your fabulous long routine, and you can wear some stupid outfit full of glitty thingies and puffy stuff and prance about like there's no tomorrow. And I kid you not, it has all the magic that you usually want in a skating routine. I mean, Medea was just a little bit, shall we say, just a little bit too much into like domestic violence, possibly, which is not appropriate for a skating routine. But I mean, I think it is, but that's me. But this is all fantasy. It's magical, absolutely magical. So here it is. The Bruckner Orchestra of Linz under Caspar Richter, the overture to Korngold's Baby Serenade. Go for it, people. isn't that just great? I mean, it's great by itself. It's great even if you're not skating to it. But if you are, it's even better. That's for damn sure. But anyway, I just love these Capriccio boxes that they're coming out with. 3, 4, 5 discs, whatever it is, dedicated to an interesting composer. Most of them are German fin de siècle types, like Schrecker and those guys. I mean, it's just wonderful music. It was a great period for really juicy, decadent, late romantic stuff. And this Korngold box, this 4-disc Korngold box, is a case in point. It's inexpensive, and it's just fantastic. So do get this if you don't have it. I mean, you don't get the violin concerto, you don't get the symphony, and actually I think that's probably a good thing because you can find them very easily elsewhere. But what you do get is like everything else. And so it's a wonderful supplement to your basic Korngold collection. It really is. The performances are first class. The recordings are first class, as you just heard. It sounds terrific. And you can skate to it. So keep on listening, folks. Thank you for joining me, and take care.